Welcome back to another episode of Point of View. It is Friday, y'all. Happy Friday, right?
We gotta celebrate that.
Yeah. We have a lot lined up for you today, and Sunset is back with us. Always good to have you with us. So here's what's coming up. Kanye West says he's had a real come to Jesus moment and is asking for forgiveness. The big question is, will the world actually forgive him? Then later in Girlfriend's Guide, we're talking about being black, qualified, and still overlooked. True story. A black woman gets overlooked in the job market until she changes her LinkedIn profile to look like a white woman, and suddenly she gets hired. Yeah, well, let that sink in. Right. So pull up a seat, join the discussion, and if you're watching live, don't be shy. Jump in the chat. This is Point of View, POV. All right, so Kanye West is back in the headlines. Well, I mean, you could guess that. But this time, he says he's had a change of heart. After years of hostile remarks, including praising Hitler and releasing a song titled Hail Hitler, he's now asking for forgiveness. Kanye says he's now saying he's done with anti-Semitism. But the big question is, can you really just walk away from that kind of damage? And will people let him? Will they? What do you think about this?
I think that as far as asking, the masses for forgiveness, I think that, we don't have the forgiveness to give another human being. Not that we shouldn't forgive him, but it's not our right to forgive or not forgive him. That's up to God. I do wish that Kanye would control himself with all of these antics, but
Right.
9 times out of 10, like I saw it said one time that like humans are the only species that punish you multiple times for one thing. Like if a dog will bite you and then that's it. They're not gonna keep biting you or whatever, allegedly. But we're gonna make you pay over and over and over again.
Yeah,
So
and never forget.
Yeah, at the end of the day, make right with God and move on.
Well, I mean, I hear that perspective, but then there's repetitive of you abusing, someone, something, or whatever, in his case, abusing the media. I feel as though he has done it so many times.
So many.
That's why, right? We got to think about it. Okay, we forgive once. That's okay. Twice. Okay, 3, 4 times. It's like, now you're going to look at the person who stayed, Cassie, right? And then we talk, why didn't you just leave? Well, why do we not engage with him? Like, stop engaging. It looks like he needs more of someone to pull him to the side and really see what's going on, because it's stated the reason he's apologizing came after speaking to his kids. Maybe he's not seeing his children. Maybe that's affecting his mental health. So I just, with media, you can't force the media and the public to really think about, introspective views of what the person is going through, of course. But I like to just think of that when someone is going on a manic train like Kanye, and like, okay, somebody in his field, somebody in his corner around him needs to take him to the side and really see and check in on him.
Well, you think by now somebody would have, because this isn't new. He's been doing this over and over again for such a long time. And I think you're right, abuse of media. And it's like now he just comes and says anything, it seems, when he wants to be in the media.
Yeah.
He'll just say something and the media's like on it.
Can I be ignorant for a second?
Go ahead.
What is anti-Semitism?
Being against the Jewish people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Hitler was.
So that's why he said Hail
anti-Semitism.
Hitler.
Yeah, because
okay.
Hitler, did what he did to the Jews.
Yeah.
Right.
So he was anti-Semitic.
Jewish.
Yes.
Okay.
Jewish.
I just never heard that word. I need clarification.
Yeah.
I think though, at the end of the day, whether it was his children that motivated, that still can onset a come to Jesus moment. I hope that it's genuine. But I think that, either way, I know that people aren't that forgiving. And, and I'm not trying to forgive or not forgive him. But I just feel like I often think about, like, myself, sometimes, and how many times I've made decisions that weren't the right decisions. And it doesn't mean at any point I'm not worthy to be forgiven, But that's why I just don't put too much hope or trace, or trust into people and about what they think about me. Because whether they forgive you or not, baby, they ain't got no heaven or hell to put you in.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. That's true.
Well, do you think he truly understands the harm he's caused, or
Do we think he really
Is he
cares?
just tired of the backlash?
Yeah, I don't think so, because if you were truly trying to be apologetic, there's certain avenues you would have taken. I don't think coming directly to the media and saying that, because that's such a bold statement. It's
Well, he
gonna
went
get
right
people-
to X.
Yeah, it's gonna
Okay.
get people riled up. If you were truly apologetic, I just think there's different ways to kind of show that versus just going on Twitter. Maybe having a conversation with someone in the field, maybe trying to bring communion to something, maybe doing an event, really pouring into why you understand what you did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And versus just saying something right now. That's like somebody saying, I'm sorry, just to get you out of their way.
Yeah.
You know, and that's like you're kind of discounting what they feel.
Well, what about balancing free speech with public responsibility, especially when it comes to pop culture?
Dangerous.
Yeah, it is dangerous, isn't it?
Very dangerous.
Because people seem to feel like they could say anything. It doesn't matter what it is. Say something and then people will believe it even if it's not true. You
Well,
know.
you do remember that the government has a say with what goes on in the media. They actually have a department in the government that
Yes.
controls the masses, that controls what we watch, the movies that get
Will we
shown.
say that's from the
Yes,
Pentagon?
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So when you think about how they literally orchestrated all of this, you got to think they are trying to sway you in a certain direction when they show you what they show you on
For
the
the
media.
purposes of some agenda.
Exactly. Some agenda is behind
That's
it.
okay. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Tyler, they pushing the agenda.
Yeah.
Listen.
Moving on to our next story, a Texas doctor just sentenced to 10 years in prison after scamming the healthcare system out of $100 million and destroying lives in the process. He told people that were completely healthy, even children, that they were seriously ill just so he could turn around and bill them for fake treatments and pocket millions. We're talking luxury jets, Bentleys, the whole nine, while his patients were left sick, traumatized, and in some cases, bedridden for life.
What?
Yes. This was an
Some
11-year-old
of y'all
child.
pastors are out here doing the same thing in the churches, just a different way.
Ask your next question now. I don't want to talk about that one.
You didn't want to...
No, I'm just playing. Not that, I'm just talking about what Junie was saying. Because we go on that tangent forever and ever. But I feel like way more doctors are doing things very similar to this.
Yeah.
And are getting
Well,
away
they've
with
been
it.
doing it for years.
Especially in America with this whole sickness care agenda, health care, whatever they call it. You know, and so I feel like, he probably definitely overdid it and was doing it too often, and that's a problem.
That's
Either
how
way,
he got caught.
it is insanely wrong, and I can only imagine some of the damage that he imparted on these people.
Well, one
Some
girl,
people is
an 11-year-old
I was just about to say,
an
like, are we missing
11-year-old
that part?
girl that he was prescribing drugs to, she is now bedridden for
That's
life.
what
That's
I'm
what they
saying.
said.
And he only
11
got 10
years old.
years. And
Yeah.
he only got 10 years.
That's what I'm
I'm
thinking.
never
Only 10?
going to normalize pain. I'm never going to say just because it's a common thing, just because everyone does it, I'm never going to normalize that kind of pain and torture.
Yeah.
Because the abusers must face penalty.
Yeah. And 10 years?
Yes, like a little girl is bedridden. God forbid her parents. I don't know what they're going through, but even reading that, even thinking the
Right.
possibility of someone in my camp, I don't think I'll be here. I would probably off both of us. Like,
I think they should take
yeah.
his assets and
Well, I hope
and
so.
return it for money and give the money to all of the patients that he infected.
Well, they'll probably return
Listen,
it back to
that-
Medicare and Medicaid, and then somebody will take that.
I want to,
Exactly.
yeah,
Like
I
they're
want to
doing
chime
that.
in and add that too many times, and this is just a sad state that we're just in.
Yeah.
Too many times, a lot of, I was gonna say Moon Blum, but whites, I'm gonna say it. They often ask for forgiveness, not permission. Meaning they do a lot of stuff wrong.
And
they
then
do,
say, "I'm sorry."
yes, and then they go, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Oh, I couldn't
or
do
you
that.
give you go 100,000.
I couldn't do
I
that.
jailed you for 30 years. I jailed you for a lifetime. Here you go, $1 million.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. Like
Yeah.
they always come back and want us to be okay with the results of it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I feel like we just need to raise more hell about the pretenses of it. Like, no, you did this, stay here, because you need to understand the severity.
Well, there's a saying that some kind of goes like, don't ask for forgiveness. Do what you want to do. Don't ask for permission. Just ask for forgiveness
It's
later.
dangerous who you tell that to, because
Yeah.
remember, we were in slavery for 400 plus years.
Yeah.
So you're basically feeding into that same memo with them, because if we're saying that as a general statement, now to them, they're going to think, yeah, we talk about ask for permission, forgiveness and not permission.
Yeah.
Well, white people think the same thing. So then we got to just be careful with that statement in general.
Well, this is how he got caught, because doctors noticed patients coming in with severe side effects, right? From treatments they never should have been prescribed. And some of them were like chronic illness, he said, like chemotherapy, rheumatoid arthritis. He was saying that they need it. And it's only because doctors were like, wait a second, you're coming in with these effects from these medications, from this treatment, and you never should have
even
been
needed
got
it.
this treatment.
What I do want to say
God,
as well
that's
is I feel like this is not going to go over good for the immigrants. I'm sure Trump is going to, if he cares to comment, would deeply exploit this situation as to why we shouldn't be allowing.
Girl, he is too busy trying to run down Kamala for paying Beyonce $11 million.
Into a corporation.
Right.
Instead of
He's too busy.
advocating for the bedridden children
Right.
from doctors in America that are falsely prescribing. Listen,
That's why I'm so
Are
like,
we-
I'm so
is- what
scared of the
is-
hospitals
what
right now
starts
and the
impeachment?
doctors.
Like, how does that
That's
happen?
what I wanted to say, baby.
I'm
You
so
ain't
scared.
got to worry about
They
me, baby.
just,
I ain't going till
what's
I'm
his name?
I'm doing home
Green
home
has been
remedies
fighting
until
for
I can't do a
this
home remedy no more.
I gotta look into that.
Yeah.
Because I really want to know at what point are we gonna say, all right, this is enough tap.
Yeah, when are you going to tap him out? Right.
Yeah.
What does it say about how blindly we trust authority and just trust doctors? We just
Yes,
trust their word.
but-
I just said I don't.
Yes, but that's the thing though.
What's in
I
here,
don't.
people they ain't going.
Chat
But
GPT is the
listen.
new doctor.
I'm telling
I don't
you,
want
they
it.
did, this is such a systematic thing, guys. Think
I'm
about it.
sorry.
They put it into the doctors, the
Yeah.
schools, and all that. People with authority, so you can take it serious. Like, oh, they know better.
Yeah.
But they don't.
They
We
don't.
have
go
to
to
take a
school
quick
and pay them
commercial
for the
break.
authority.
But when we come back, we're diving into what it really means when, you're qualified, overqualified, and still overlooked as a woman of color in Girlfriend's Guide to Don't Go Anywhere. You're watching. You know what you're watching. Say it with me. POV.
Happy Friday. We have made it to the end of the week, and I got a question for y'all. So, would you guys be okay with dating someone whose family is not a fan of you?
Listen, my aunt used to tell us, from growing up all the way up to now, it's embedded in me. What other people think of you is none of your business.
Right.
Okay? So at
Right.
the end of the day, I feel like if I was with somebody, yes, ideally you want to marry or date into a
And
good
everybody
family.
kumbaya.
Right.
Sure.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, that's just not the way that it always goes. And so, baby, if you don't like me, I'm still going to be respectful. I ain't disrespecting nobody, mama, grandma, auntie, or nobody else, baby.
Unless you disrespect me.
No, ma'am, that's not how that works. Treat others how you want to be treated.
I'm telling
not
you
how
right
they
now.
treat you.
If you disrespect me, I don't care who you are.
Yep.
You going toe to toe with a
second
mama?
that. Yes.
I've been toe to toe with a mama.
Whoa!
Yes.
She-
I will.
Don't play with me.
I've been
Don't
told
play
to-
The
with-
elderly always
Don't
think
play
they can
with
just
me.
say what they want to say.
Exactly.
Absolutely not.
And they be
No.
disrespectful. I promise
disrespectful.
you, I'm the sweetest, I'm the nicest, I'm
Yeah.
the kindest, I'm the humblest person that you will ever meet. But also, don't disrespect me. I don't
Yep.
care whose mama you are. You ain't my mama.
Listen, that's why.
I
Oh
agree.
Lord,
Yeah.
that's so funny. That's why I was saying. I said it the other day on social media, like the way people be doing. I thank God that He made me the way I made, because I be wanting to call. But I don't do it. I'm not respecting nobody.
The right person,
I'm not-
the right
I'm not
person will
doing
take you
it,
there.
Tally, if
I'm
they
not
she come in here,
ask
she's
about
not
me,
gonna
baby.
do
Listen,
No.
they're gonna go toe to toe
wow.
at the table. But anybody, listen, y'all at home, would y'all date somebody whose family wasn't a fan of you? If so, drop it down in our comments, and if not, drop it down in our comments so we can read and listen to y'all stories too. For now, we're gonna get back to the show. Respectfully.
Welcome back. All right, ladies, it's time to dive into all things love, life, relationships, and the topics that truly matter to everyday women. So let's get into Girlfriend's Guide. Listen to this. After months of getting nowhere in the job search, Aaliyah Jones, a Black creative, decided to test the system. She swapped out her real name and photo on LinkedIn for a fake white identity. And guess what? The same resume that got her crickets before suddenly had recruiters flooding her inbox. One even connected with her immediately after ignoring her real profile for months.
Wow.
This is a harsh reality check and a prime example of how people of color are constantly being overlooked just because of the sound of their name or the color of their skin.
Now, I've been saying this forever.
Okay.
Apply to that job as a middle-aged white woman.
It's
Apply
the truth.
to that job as a middle-aged white woman, because you know what? People, when you get to a job interview, once you make it to the job interview, they cannot ask you about your race.
Okay.
It is discrimination. So the moment they ask you about your race, baby, sue them. Go get your coin. Apply as a middle-aged white woman. Trust me. Now, I didn't get this job as a middle-aged white woman, but I didn't need to be a middle-aged white woman to get this job. But you want to be in corporate America, wherever you want to be, where the owner is what? Apply to that job as a middle-aged white woman. Trust me, thank me later.
It's the truth.
Okay.
It's the truth.
Okay.
I did my own experiment on this. Like, real life did an experiment. I applied for about 400 jobs as myself.
Damn.
None. And I'm highly qualified, y'all. I was told that I was overqualified by multiple jobs. I was told that.
As yourself?
As myself.
Okay.
Never heard of this in my life.
Okay.
I cried because of it. I'm like, wait, y'all tell us to go to school, get an education, and now I'm overqualified. I did it and used a different name and put my race as white, y'all.
Wow.
Like, I was crying because of that. Literally.
Did you accept and go to the interview?
No, because why would I even work for them? I'm not even a person
To
that
prove
can...
a point. You
You're
should have
right. I should've.
went. You should have went and still
I
showed up as
should've.
yourself and talked to that person and say, "Hey, I applied using this same," just to show them
Yeah,
how
I should've.
ignorant they
I was so
are.
emotional at the time because I couldn't believe that was my
That would have been
reality.
so
Right,
good
yeah,
though. And
yeah.
I hope Aaliyah did that. I hope she
Yeah.
actually accepted an offer and went and showed them how ignorant they actually are.
I want to see the picture that she used.
I would love to see the picture too, actually.
It's crazy too though, because like, I remember like back in the day when even, I came up under, the Florida standardized FCAT test and all of those things. And I remember like, when my sister and friends were graduating high school, going off to college and stuff, and they would always put other on their job applications and stuff
Yes.
like that. And so that was a whole debunking as well, that it took years later to like, program your mind to go back to black. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
I
But
have a
why
hard
are we-
time.
Oh, go ahead. You have a hard
No,
time.
I was just gonna say I have a hard time sometimes choosing between like, do I put black or do I
Right.
put Hispanic?
Yes,
Because
right.
I am black and Hispanic.
Right.
Like there is no bubble for
I check most of the boxes. I go
black
I go,
Latina.
boop, boop, boop,
Yep.
pick
You know what
one.
I'm saying? There's no
Yep.
bubble for that.
Yep.
You either have to be black or you have to be Hispanic.
Right.
That's true.
I'm gonna be white.
Might as
Yeah.
well. Might as well. But why in 2005 do you think we're still having to prove racism exists? There's black people out there who say racism doesn't exist. I don't know
I was
what you're
just
talking
going to
about.
touch on that. When I told my girlfriends about this, I read the topic. They were like, okay, next question. Like, we know this happens and this exists. When you're affected by it, you know the reality of life. The only people that are shocked by this is the people who are not affected by it, which are white people, right? They don't experience this every day. They're always like, what? Our people did, what? Who? It's always the oblivion. But the reality is we can't change this.
No.
So what we go through is a constant thing that's constant reminders every day through these microaggressions. So we can't unsee it. We're not surprised. It's just like, wow, we're still here.
Like, we're still here. Yeah,
I
exactly.
really believe like at jobs like call center jobs, for example, like they have to have a certain percentage of black people, a certain percentage of
Well, DEI is gone now.
No, it still exists.
Oh,
There's a certain quota that they do have to meet.
Still.
Yeah.
Even with the DEI argument.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I think
that was
AI
before
also
DEI.
knows that and like
I think AI probably made
pushes
it worse.
different, that's why you have to put what race you are.
Yeah.
Because why is race really on the...
They lie. They tried to say that, some companies, and I can speak for the companies I work for, they get paid to cater to the DEI people.
Oh, really?
They get funded from the government to actually accept certain applicants so that they can be seen and deemed as diverse.
Wow.
Yeah, so they would have programs like we had ERGs.
Okay.
Yeah, where we'll get together called the African American ERG, the LBT ERG, the Hispanic. Like they had, different ERGs, and they poured money into it to act as though. I'm going to say act because it wasn't really what was going on. To act as though that they were giving these people chances and opportunities.
Wow.
And what's the ERG? What does that stand for?
It's a resource group. So it's, it's a resource group for that specific group of people.
Yeah, I had a friend that was a black architect, and his job, the firm that he worked at, they created like a program where they were like teaching young up and coming high school kids how to be architects and all these things. And he said like they did like 1 or 2 events, and then
that was it, right?
there was nothing else about it.
Remember, I led this. I was the manager of that. So when I seen like certain budgets wasn't going to certain things, and they would tell you like, nah, we want to support this organization, I'd be like, oh, that's strange, because my people, I know they would like this.
Yeah.
I already knew it was the MO. Like the MO was very different.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Still in 2025, my goodness. Well, we're about to switch things up and get into our final segment of the day. Let's get into mind, body, and soul. So Kris Jenner just popped out in Paris at 69 years old, looking polished, powerful, and noticeably more snatched, darling. Yes.
Jesus Christ.
The word is she recently went under the knife again for some fresh work. And while she looks amazing, let's be honest, your average 69-year-old woman does not look like this. That's not shade. It's just reality. So where does that leave the rest of us? Is it wrong to want to age naturally? Or is there power in choosing to stay young, sexy, and surgical? Let's talk about the pressure, the privilege, and the pros and cons of aging in today's time.
No, let's talk about the reality is that
Right.
we're all broke.
Yeah,
And we
like,
can't afford. We can't afford to
All
have
right.
doctors like Dr. Levine to snatch it all back
Honey, he
for us.
did a good job,
What a
though.
great
Okay.
job.
I ain't claiming no brokenness.
He
now.
talented.
But
I'm claiming
Yeah.
broke when it comes to Kris Jenner.
I'm
Baby.
not
I don't got millions of dollars to just throw away to just fix my face.
Not right today.
Surprised how much it is. It's attainable.
yeah, honestly. But
Yeah.
what I would like to see, I think that Kris Jenner looks absolutely stunning and beautiful.
Oh, she
but I
looks
remember
Here's an
gorgeous.
after shot here. I'm sorry.
no. I remember Chris Brown's mom had
Oh,
yeah,
My
exactly.
goodness.
Whoa!
Listen, Chris Brown's mom had got
What
the same
in the
thing.
AI
It was
is
about
going
40
on
years.
The before and after,
Wait, what
y'all.
happened?
Chris Brown's mom had got the same kind of facelift done, and it took out about 40 years off
Yeah.
of her as well. But
Yeah.
it's been years
Wow.
since we've seen that face. I want to see the progression of the new face.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we gotta be honest. Like Junie said, like if we all could, we would, right? I think the stigma around aging is really again a propaganda. Okay, there's people we see in real life that are aging gracefully.
Yeah.
The whole
Yes.
black don't crack thing. Like we
Yeah.
see it every day, guys.
Yes.
It's just what they throw in front
She's
of you.
not black.
Yeah, I know. Right. She had to go pay for it, but I would too.
But
like,
it's a lot of black women 69 was looking just like Kris
yeah,
Jenner.
it is.
I'm just saying, Kris is not black.
Without the surgery.
Right.
Now, if Kris,
But it
Kris
doesn't
didn't have that
really matter.
surgery, I'd love to see what she looked like
But
without
why
the
though?
surgery.
Why though?
Well,
Like,
we
think
did-
about
we
it. If
did-
we
we-
could
that was
help
the-
it,
that was the
would we
before and
really
after.
want to look like that? You know what I mean? If we could help
If I
it.
was 69,
If we could help it.
No. If I was 69, I would want to look like the new Kris Jenner too. I ain't gonna
Exactly.
hold
That's
on
what
now.
I'm like. If
Yeah,
we
true, but you
had
know
to-
what? But not just about the surgery aspect of it. What it does ignite in me is it makes me want to feel like, you know what? Let me make sure that I'm tightening up right now.
Yes.
That I'm
Oh.
taking better care of this one body
Right
that
now.
I'm getting in this lifetime.
Yeah.
So that at 69, I maybe won't need to get as much done. But I'm sure I'm gonna need a little nip
Nip
tuck
tuck.
tighten.
Come on now.
Nip tuck.
Will, Junie, were you indifferent? Why are you indifferent?
Junie lying, baby. Don't
no,
listen
I
to
don't
Junie.
know. I don't know. I love my body right now. I know
Yeah,
what I
but
look
you
like
ain't
right
69
now.
yet,
you
baby.
But I look
69.
19 and I'm not 19, honey.
You see what you said? That's part of it, though. You see, we want to.
I ain't had no word. I ain't never
When
touched
we're
a
told
knife.
that, right? We like to, boast about it. Like, oh, they think I'm this and not. That's
Right.
the same stigma is happening. You're now telling the older girls, like, oh no, we're not that old, right?
Right.
We're still. It's still
No, Kris looks beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. She looks absolutely beautiful. To me, I feel broke. Because I cannot,
Oh,
I cannot
geez.
afford.
Now she looks amazing,
These
but that top
luxuries.
lip is still a little wrinkly now. I ain't gonna lie.
It
but
can't all be
honestly-
perfect.
Right.
But honestly, he did a great job.
Amazing.
No, yeah, she
amazing.
looks-
I
looks
need
beautiful.
the DM, please.
But,
I'm done.
but why do we praise
I'm sure
women
we can
like
Google
Kris
it.
Jenner for looking ageless, right? But then side-eye everyday women for trying to do the same? You're like,
I want
Because they be doing it on a budget. They watching Instagram for the sale, and they don't come out looking
Oh,
like Kris Jenner. That's the
dang.
problem.
No, they don't because they
Yeah.
sleep on their face wrong and the Botox be in their forehead.
Yeah, they be
see?
wanting them $1,500 boobs,
Don't,
baby.
you gotta invest in quality. When you're talking about your
Yes.
face and how you look, like I don't
Yes.
think you should go cheap. You need to make sure you do your research, yada yada
Yes.
yada. I think that's what's going on.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, are we empowering women with surgery or pressuring them to chase perfection?
We're empowering women
Do what
to
you
be
please.
whoever they want to be, baby.
Yeah.
Enough about
Yeah.
what
Whoever
women
you
want
wanna
and
be.
don't want. Just
Yeah.
do what you please. Do what makes you happy. Like Talia said,
But do
it's
it
one
right.
life. One life, yeah. Just
Do it
like,
right.
and
Don't
do some
be a cheat.
research, right?
And if you have the turkey neck, if you don't pretend that you're okay with it, and then you don't want nobody to take no picture of you.
Oh God.
Who you talk about, Tyler? That felt too personal. That was too specific, Tyler. We were talking about Botox.
Honey, it's Friday, y'all. It is Friday. That's a wrap for today's show. They are hilarious. But before we sign off, we'll leave you with a quote of the day. I am not my hair. I am not this skin. I am the soul that lives within. That's India Ari. That's right. So thank you for hanging out with us. We'll catch you here next time on POV. Only on, watch out, y'all, Afro TV.